Hello to all. Welcome to my clinical reviews. I'm your host, Joseph Pokin. Today we will be discussing the film X2, X-Men United. It all starts out as a presidential assassination attempt takes place, perpetrated by a Tony winner betraying a blue monster while lovely music is playing. This aforementioned character is Nightcrawler. Meanwhile, Wolverine travels to Alberta, meets a doggy, then leaves. We cut to Jean Grey worrying about her powers going awry as Xavier disrupts a kerfuffle at a food court. Xavier then uses the invasive gizmo Cerebro to find Nightcrawler. Then Xavier and Cyclops speak with Magneto in his wildly impractical prison cell, while Jean and Storm pay a visit to Nightcrawler. At this point, the President then essentially gives military scientist Colonel William Stryker permission to attack and abduct children from their home in Xavier's mansion. Wolverine and a Russian strongman lead the youths, which include Rogue, Iceman, and the pyrokinetic misanthrope John, or Pyro, to safety, but not before Logan meets Stryker and remembers him from previous encounters. Stryker's assistant Yuriko, wearing a very smart pantsuit, incapacitates Xavier and Cyclops. Eventually, Mystique uses her feminine wiles to break Magneto free, and one of two of the great scenes in this film. Wolverine and the wayward youths meet Iceman's parents in a quite heavy-handed scene before John slaughters several cops. The two groups meet up eventually, and Magneto saves them from dying in a fiery crash from their personal aircraft. Magneto explains Stryker's convoluted plan to cause a mutant genocide using Xavier, a second Cerebro, and the Colonel's wheelchair-bound mutant son, Jason. Stryker utilizes Jason's abilities to earlier brainwash Nightcrawler, who at this point we find is a devout Catholic, former circus freak, and is especially physically unpleasant to look at. He's still the best character in the film. We learn that not only did Stryker gift Logan with amnesia and implants of a fictional metal, but that his base of operations is in the same place that Logan came up empty, with answers to his past. Utilizing subterfuge and superpowers, Mystique gives the X-Men entry into Stryker's lair. Storm and Nightcrawler save the children, while several fights occur. This only leads to the weakening of a dam and the especially grisly death of Yuriko. Wolverine ends up finding Stryker, incapacitating him and leaving him for dead. Magneto and Mystique hijacks Cerebro, and programming simply caused the death of all humans. They beat a hasty retreat along with that little shit John, who has fallen under the sway of Magneto's belief system. Nightcrawler and Storm pull off a complicated and rather confusing strategy to stop Cerebro, save Xavier, and cause the death of Jason. As the dam continues to break and the team makes their way to the X-Jet, it is trouble taking off. Jean uses her gift of telekinesis to hold back the water and give the aircraft a boost, killing herself and having a tearful, if not slightly goofy goodbye in the process. The X-Men then tell the President of Stryker's plans and essentially threaten him into peaceful coexistence. Even though a funeral is held for Jean, the promise of a sequel looms over us all. Oh, also Nightcrawler and Mystique are mother and son, but they don't really go into that. All in all, I enjoyed this film. 4 out of 5 stars. We'll see you again soon. Well, that is all the time we have for clinical reviews. I have been your host. Thank you and good night.